So hopefully this is the last time that I'll have to address this, but I made a post the other day about how I think it's weird that the same people that told us to question everything and to not believe what the main official narrative is are now the people that are telling us that we can't question the Charlie Kirk issue. We can't question, was that really Tyler Robinson? We can't question, was that actually a 30-06? We can't question any of the official narrative because they're automatically framing us as crazy or Candace cultists or conspiracy theorists and just trying to completely write off our questions and opinions wholesale without actually even addressing the questions or opinions. That right there is propaganda 101. You try to paint the opposition as crazy and everything that they say is complete bullshit and it shouldn't even be taken into account because it's so crazy. That's propaganda 101. And I want to be 100% clear about this too. Since the narrative right now is if you don't believe the official narrative and you don't believe it was Tyler Robinson, then you're a cultist and you believe Candace Owens and you're a crazy conspiracy theorist. Let me just clear that up for you real quick. I don't give a shit about Candace Owens. I never listened to her. I think she's crazy. I think she's in it for the money. And I don't give a shit about Erica Kirk. I never listened to her after her little performance after Charlie died. I don't give a shit about her either. I think she's in it for the money too. So I'm in it for the truth and I'm in it to help continue Charlie's legacy. That's it. I don't give a shit about this TMZ celebrity drama. Couldn't give a fuck. So miss me with that. And here's the other thing. So people are going, oh, you conspiracy theorists are always just looking for a reason to have a new conspiracy. And that's just the way you live and all that kind of stuff. Guys, when this Charlie Kirk thing first happened, I didn't have any questions. When they got Tyler Robinson, I was like, cool, they got the guy. You know, clearly it was him, case closed, prosecute him, let's go. You know, justice for Charlie, that type of thing. Then when more information about the case started coming out, all it did was just raise more questions and more holes started getting poked through the narrative. And I was like, wait a minute. The first thing that got me was the whole 30-06 round thing. And I made a whole video about that, how I don't believe that it was a 30-06 round that hit Charlie. And from that point, I started going, okay, well, that doesn't make sense. And then more information would come out and I would go, well, that's kind of inconsistent, or why would they say that? And the more you started looking into it, the more you started going, whoa, this whole thing is manufactured, or it seems manufactured, and like there's something else going on. So I did what I did during COVID. I did what I did during any time an official statement comes out from the government or FBI or any other three-letter agency. I started asking questions. And it's just ironic to me that the same people that were applauding us for asking questions during COVID are the same people telling us, don't ask any questions about this. And if you do ask any questions about this, you're fucking crazy. That's insane. And that should start raising red flags to you. Now, again, it could end up that Tyler Robinson was the guy by himself with a 30-round six. I'm not completely ruling out that possibility, but show me some evidence. And you know, the narrative is now that, oh, they showed the video of him on the roof unequivocally firing the shot that killed Charlie. That's bullshit. They're lying to you. The only video that they're talking about was an enhanced video that the public has already seen. And all they did was zoom in a little bit, and you cannot see him firing the shot in the video, period. You can't see it. You do not see him pulling the trigger. So if there's anybody out there telling you that video exists, it doesn't. They're lying to you, which should raise more questions. Why are they trying to lie to us and control the narrative like this? It doesn't make sense. But again, I am not opposed to having my opinion swayed, but you got to show me evidence to sway me. You can't just go, oh, well, we got these 8 conservative influencers that are proven to be bought and paid for telling me that this is what happened and trust me, bro. No, I don't trust you. At all. I don't trust you until you can show me something. You know, the fact that y'all were like, oh, we were in the courtroom, but nobody else was allowed to see it. And we're all coming out with the same narrative at the same time. It looks like manufactured talking points, period. I don't care what you say, like, oh, well, they're just talking about the evidence. You know, the evidence is the evidence. That's fine. But the way that they're talking about it and the sentence structures that they're using, and the timing of their release of their videos is all suspect. Look, I've been in this game long enough that I know that if you round up enough people with enough reach in big accounts like this, or like some of the other conservative influencers, if you round up enough of them and have them say the same narrative, it will 100% sway public opinion. That's the power of social media. That's the power of quote unquote influencers. That's how it works. So for me, knowing how this system works, when I see a bunch of influencers saying the same thing at the same time and making a very hard stance about whatever it may be, all it does is raise flags for me. It doesn't make them seem credible to me. It makes them seem bought and paid for. This whole thing is just, it doesn't make sense. And the fact that these influencers are now pushing this narrative to try to shut everybody up that's asking questions only makes this more unreasonable. And all it does is just give me 1,000 more questions and doesn't answer any of them. If you don't like me not agreeing with them, that's fine. I don't give a shit. I've made my platform not towing the line, so I'm going to continue to ask questions. In the end, here's what I'm going to say. I hope this is an open and shut case, and I hope Tyler Robinson does be found to be guilty and be the only person that did it, and it's just an open and shut case, nice and easy. I hope that happens, and I'm open to having my opinion swayed, but until you can answer these basic questions that don't make sense, I'm going to keep asking them. And I don't give a fuck if you call me a conspiracy theorist. Cool. They called me a conspiracy theorist the whole time through COVID, and guess what? I was right. So until you can unequivocally prove me wrong or sway me and give me evidence that without a reasonable doubt, I believe, I'm going to keep asking questions. And you should too.